Daddy, who is the man in that picture? Why does he look so angry and mean?
Son, that man is Donald Trump. At one time he was the President of the United States. He looks angry and mean because he is an angry and mean man. The people elected him as president, and while he was president, he did some nasty things, things that were good for the very rich people in the country but not so good for people like you and me who don't have so much wealth. He also did things like separating children from their mothers and fathers at the border between the United States and Mexico. Do you remember when we had the pandemic? You know, when we stayed home a lot and when went outside we wore masks?
Oh, I remember that. That was when Grandpa died. We couldn't even visit him in the hospital. That made me so sad. I miss him very much. He used to tell me stories and he made me laugh.
I know, son, I was sad too. My father loved all of us so much, and he always told me how proud he was of you. But what Trump and his helpers did was to disbelieve the doctors and scientists that were working to defeat the disease. Trump was mad at the scientists because many businesses had to shut down, and that was bad for the economy. He tried to open up the country again far too early and people caught the disease and died. Then he tried to tell people to use drugs that the doctors and scientists knew were no good against the virus and more people died. He told people to drink bleach or to shine a bright light inside their body to kill the disease. If you drink bleach, you die because it burns your insides. Thousands of Americans died needlessly because Trump would not listen to the scientists. Many grandpas, grandmas, children, and others died because of how he handled the pandemic.
Why did he do that?
He was focused on getting elected again as president when the next election came around. He did not get elected. We, the people, voted Joe Biden into office and fired Donald Trump. This is when Donald Trump showed his true colors. He started spreading lies that the election was rigged and that there was fraud and Joe Biden was not the president. He went to court and tried to have the election overturned. The courts told him that he needed to have evidence of fraud. Trump and his helpers could not provide any, so the judges, many of them appointed by Trump, dismissed the case and told him to come back with evidence. He also called people in various states asking them to change the numbers of the votes, so they would show he won the state. None of the states went along with him. They kept to the law and he was foiled again.
So Daddy, did he give up then?
No, he then committed a terrible crime against America. He stirred up his followers and on January 6th, he sent them to stop the official certification of the vote. The insurrectionists stormed the Capitol building. Over 100 policemen were hurt. The insurrectionists came armed with chemical sprays used to chase away bears that they sprayed in the policemen's faces. They used flagpoles with sharp points, and there were all sorts of weapons. I am sorry to say this, but some of the rioters actually smeared poop on the walls and floors of the Capitol. They were searching for the Vice President and the Speaker of the House. They wanted to kill them and to make it impossible for the election to be certified. Trump watched all of this at the White House. They say he was pleased by what he saw. He could have stopped them, but he didn't. When he finally sent them a message telling them to go home, he told them that they were special people and that he loved them. They were not special people, they were traitors to the United States, and the Department of Justice has been searching for them and putting them in jail for their crimes. Trump himself has been charged for what he has done and will be tried in court for what he did later on this year.
Well then, Daddy, if he is going to jail, then we don't have to be afraid anymore.
I wish it was that simple. But our law says that a person can be president 2 times in their lifetime. Trump has had 1 turn and now he is running for another turn. If he gets in, America, as we know it, and all of the special things that makes America the best place in the whole world to live will disappear. Donald Trump believes that laws do not apply to him, and if he is president, he will disregard the Constitution and rule as a dictator. We cannot let this happen. This November we vote for who will be president for the next 4 years. We have to convince Democrats, Republicans, and independents that there is only one choice for our country if we want it to remain a democracy, and that is to vote for the Democratic candidate, Joe Biden. Joe has done so much for Americans. There are more jobs, higher pay, lower gas prices, and the pandemic was properly fought using science by Joe and his helpers. You know, Trump says that he will make America great again. He cannot do that because America has been, and always will be great as long as democracy reigns. God bless America and God help us to defeat his dizzy, brainwashed Republicans. Then Trump will disappear into the fog of things that never should have been.